Now let us understand the concept of recursive function with the help of an example. So the example given here is find the sum of n numbers. So the sum of n natural numbers can be written as sum of n natural numbers is equal to n plus sum of n minus 1. I hope you must have already learned this way of writing in your mathematics, right? So similarly, sum of n minus 1 is equal to n minus 1 plus sum of n minus 2. Sum of n minus 2 can be written as sum of n minus 2 plus sum of n minus 3. So when we apply the value for n, you will understand much better. So I want to find the sum of first 5 natural numbers, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. I want to find that. So that can be written as 5 plus sum of 4, right? So that sum of 4 can be written as 4 plus sum of 3. And sum of 3 can be written as 3 plus sum of 2. And sum of 2 can be written as 2 plus sum of 1. So what is sum of 1? Sum of 1, it's nothing but 1. So here, what am I doing here is, I am doing the same task repeatedly. So whenever you have a problem something like this, then you can go for a recursive function. So here, when you give sum of 1, see the answer is 1. So you need not call this function once again. So here the result is known. Do you remember? This is a base case. So when I have to stop repeating it, so when the value will become 1, you have to stop calling the function. So this is what recursive procedure is. Calling the same thing again and again. Now I am going to write a Python program using a recursive function method. Okay. So when you write a recursive function, what you have to remember is, so there must be two cases. One is base case, that is the case where you have to specify where to stop, and you have to write the recursive case. So now look at the program here. So now the program here is, so def, so the function definition, compute of num. Okay, so this is the function header. So for whatever the value wanted to find out the sum, so you are getting that value. So here the very first thing that I am writing here is, it is a base case. If number is equal to 1, then you have to return the value 1. Okay, so that is, so sum of 1 is 1. No need to do any calculation. The result is known. So I am returning that value directly. So here the base case of this particular function is this. That is, so here I am specifying where to stop. That is, I am not calling the function. Okay. So if the number is not equal to 1, then the case is return num plus compute of num minus 1. That is, whatever the same logic I have applied here. So if it is 4, I have to calculate 4 plus compute of 4 minus 1. So compute of 4 minus 1, which is 3. So that will be called again. Right? Okay. So here this is my recursive function, which contains base case and then a recursive case. So now I have to write a program to call that recursive function. So now I am giving the value n is equal to 5. So and then print sum of 5 is equal to compute of n. Okay, so it will call with the value of 5. So when you run this program, you will get the output as sum of 5 is equal to 15. Now let us understand how this particular program works step by step. Look at this. So what is the first line that will be executed? So of course, so the first line, that is what is the execution order? First it will start with line number 1. So after that, this is the function header. So it will immediately come to the main program, that is top level statement. So this is a command line, so it will not be executed. So it will start with line number 7. So after line number 7, it will go to line number 8. In the line number 8, there is compute of n, that is there is a function call statement. So when there is a function call statement, the control will be transferred to the place and then it will start executing the function definition line by line. So this is what explained in the next slide, that is, so first it will execute line number 7. So n is equal to 7. So starts at 7 and initializes the value, and then it will call the function compute of n, calls the function. Okay, so the control will be transferred to line number 1. So when the control is transferred to line number 1, okay, so now what is the function header? Def compute of num. So here whatever the value 5, that will be assigned to num. So after assigning the value, it will start executing the next line. So if the number is equal to 1, is the condition satisfied? No, the condition not satisfied. So it will go to the else part. So what is there in the else part? So in the else part, I have return of num plus compute of num minus 1. Okay, so here what is the value of num? So num is substituted with the value 5. So then it will become 5 plus compute of 4. So there is a function call statement again. So when there is a function call statement, what will happen? Again it will go to line number 1, that is compute of, it will call the function with the value 4. So compute of 4, control will be transferred to line number 1, and then now the number will be assigned with the value 4. Again the condition will be tested. So and then it will go to the else part. In the else part, I am having return of num plus compute of num by minus 1, which is nothing but 4 plus compute of 3. So when there is a compute of 3, again it will go to the same, that is line number 1. Compute of 3, the control will be transferred to line number 1, and then number will be substituted with the value 3, okay, not 4, okay. So and then if number condition not satisfied, so it will call the function return, it will go to the else part. In the else part, I am having return of 3 plus compute of 2. Okay, so compute of 2, again there is a function call. So the control will be again go back to the first line. It will call the function with the value 2. So it will check the condition not satisfied. So it will call the function again return of 2 plus compute of 1. So now look here, compute of 1. So again the control will be transferred to line number 1. So def compute of num. Num is assigned with the value 1. Now this condition is tested. So if num is equal to 1, yes it is. The condition satisfied. So it will execute line number 3. What is there in line number 3? It returns the value 1 to the calling function. Where I have called? So to this return statement. Okay. So to this return statement, it will return the value 1 because it returns, there is a statement return 1. So the value 1 will be returned here. So that is this particular portion, it will be substituted with the value 1. What is already there? 2 plus 1. So this again a return statement. So when there is a return statement, so it will call where the caller function is. So the control will be transferred to this particular return statement, that is for compute of 2 only we got this, right? So here what is the result of this particular statement? It is 3. So it will return the value 3. So 3 will come here and compute of 2 will be substituted with the value 3. So 3 plus 3, it will become 6. Who called this function? This particular return statement. So the control again transferred to the caller function here. So what is the value that we have received here? 6. So here compute of 3 will be substituted with the value 6. So 4 plus 6. Again there is a return statement. So where it is being called? So here it is being called here. Okay. So here compute of 4 which will be substituted with the value 10. So 5 plus 10, which is 15. Okay, so this will again go back to the print statement. So that is, it will go to this particular statement, compute of 5. So to this particular place it will be returned. So now what is the value, final value that is returned? It is 15. So that 15 will be printed here. Do you understand? So this is how the recursive function has to be written, and it is how it will execute the program. Now let us understand how recursion works internally, how it will be handled internally in the memory. That is what we are going to understand. So while executing the program containing function, the computer creates function stack. What do you mean by stack? So stack, it's nothing but it is a stack of plates, or it is a stack of notebooks. Stack, it is actually a terminology used to specify whatever the items that comes last, that will be removed first. That is, if I ask you to submit your classworks, you will be submitting on the table, right? Okay, so you will be keeping your notebooks one on the another, one on the another. So when I do the correction, I'll be taking the notebook which is on the top. So that will be the notebook which was submitted at last, right? Okay, so that is, whatever on the top, that will be removed first from that particular stack. That is what that particular terminology means. That is, we normally call it as LIFO, that is last in first out. Whatever comes last, that will be executed first. So when there is a function in your program, so the function stack will be created. So the function stack is a stack of frames, each corresponds to function invocation. What is function invocation? Function invocation, it's nothing but it is function call statement. Okay, for each function call statement, the function frame will be, that is a frame will be created and it will be kept on the top. So the computer works on executing whichever is at stack's top. So that is what the working methodology of a stack is. When there is a function invocation, the computer creates a new frame and places atop the stack. Whenever there is a another function invocation, that is function call, another frame will be created and then it will be again placed on the top. When the function stack at the stack's top returns, the computer removes the function's frame from the stack's top. That is, when the function at the stack's top returns, that is when it returns the value, when it has the value returned, so it will be removed. Now let us understand this concept with the program whatever we have discussed earlier. So now I have created a stack for compute of 3. That is, I want to calculate the sum of 3 natural numbers. So there was a statement in my program where sum is equal to compute of 3. There was a statement. This is the statement in my program. Okay, so this is a function invocation. That is, this is a function call statement. So when there is a function call statement, so this is my stack. Okay, so in the stack it has created a frame. This one is called as a frame. So this is created and it is having the function call statement. So now compute of 3. So it will start executing this particular function. So in the function call statement, okay, so the condition will be checked and then there is a statement called return of 3 plus compute of 2. So here there is a function call statement. Since there is a function call statement, this frame was created. Do you understand? Okay, so that is what it's mentioned here, right? Whenever there is a function call statement, the new frame will be created. For this particular statement, the frame is created because there is a function call statement. Where it was placed? So it was placed on the top of the previous statement. So here in the compute of 2, it will be started executing. So compute of 2, again it has a statement return 2 plus compute of 1. So there is a function call statement. Okay. So here there is a function call statement. It will be created. There is compute of 3, compute of 2 and then compute of 1. So this particular function, it will be executing now. So while executing this particular function, okay, there is no more function call statement. So it gives you the value. So compute of 1, return the value 1. So which is on the top, that will be executed and the value is returned, and the value it will be returned to the previous, that is this frame will be removed. Okay, the top frame, it will be removed because so it has evaluated the value and it returns the value 1. So this value will be returned to this particular statement. Okay, so here it is compute of 2. So in the compute of 2, compute of 1 is replicate, that is replaced with the value 1. Okay, so here this particular statement, it will be removed from the stock, that is from the top. That is how the stack is working, right? Okay, so 2 plus 1. Okay, when it will return the value, okay, so now it will also be evaluated and this particular frame will be removed. Whatever the result, it will be passed on to the next frame, that is the previous frame. So now it is, what is compute of 2? It is the value 3. Okay, so the 3 plus 3 and then here that value will be returned to the, that frame will be removed and then it will be returned to the last one. Okay, so here compute of 3, now it is having the value 6. Okay, so it will also be removed. Now it is having the value 6. Okay, so here what you have learned is that whenever there is a function call statement, new frame will be generated. New frame will be generated and it will be executed in that order, that is in what order? Last in first out order. So this is the last item in the stack. So compute of 1 will be evaluated. What is the result? That result will be given back to the previous frame. Okay, and then this will be removed. Okay, so and then when sum is assigned with the value 6, there is no more items in the stack, so it will be returning completely to the variable and this particular frame will also be removed. So once it prints the value or once after executing the particular statement, this frame will also be removed from the stack. Okay, so this is how recursion is handled internally by your computer or compiler.